Assalamualaikum to Prof. Madia Dr. Norashike Menti Abdul Hamid and all my fellow friends. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Nur Nalinda Aida binti Mazli, matric number 259233. Today, we will present about management scholar which is Robert Samuel Kaplan. Robert Samuel Kaplan was born on 2 May in 1940 at New York. He is a professor of leadership development emeritus at Harvard Business School. Then, he also a scholar of accounting in America. Robert S. Kaplan also has a PhD in operations research from Cornell University. In 1984 until 1993, Robert S. Kaplan is a Marvin Bower Professor of Leadership Development at Harvard Business School. He also has a PhD in Operation Research at Cornell University after got a DN at Carnegie Mellon University. After that, in 1993, he got a Management Accounting Literacy Award winner which is American Accounting for implementing activity-based cost management. In 1996 until 1997, he is a finalist for the Financial Times and Hamilton Global Business Book Awards. He also Distinguished Contribution Award and Librarian Certificate of Merit Award. Then, in 2006, he also included in Hall of Accounting Fame and got Lifetime Contribution Award from the Management Accounting Division of the American Accounting Association. Lastly, in 2008, Robert S. Kaplan received the Workplace Learning and Performance Award, and he also entered the Thinkers 50 Hall of Fame along with David P. Norton. After that, we move to definition of management theory. Robert Kaplan and Norton have introduced a balanced scorecard system. We can see in the article the balanced scorecard which is measure that drive efficiency. Display the result of previous activities using financial metric, for example, internal procedure, financial customer retention metric, and organizational innovation and growth program. This approach will provide feedback on internal as well as external business process. Then, it is a management process that will help an organization in achieve its goal and objective. Management theory have a variety of options before setting up performance matrix scorecard customer problem. For example, internal business process, employee practice, and even problem from shareholder. The balanced scorecard also created to address accounting problem that involve financial measure. It also aims to help manager evaluate, analyze, and direct activities within the organization. The balanced scorecard also gives for an accurate assessment of management practice, whether it is from a financial or non-financial perspective. So, it will improve a business performance. Then, we move to 4 management process that use in balanced scorecard. Managers who use the balanced scorecard do not have to depend on short-term financial indicator to assess the company accomplishment. The 4 management process are described as translating the vision, communicating the linking, business planning, and feedback learning. The first one is translating the vision. Translating a mission statement or vision into an integrated set of priorities and steps is one way to communicate it. It leads to supervisor develop organization measure which is typically negotiation, and finally consensus on how to achieve the company goals. It also will help all employees understand how their daily work contributes to the achievement of long-term objective. So, the second one is communicating and linking. Department and individual objective should be linked with policy by evaluation procedure and incentive to create a fit of intent between each employee and organization. Scorecard users interact in three activities such as communicating and educating, setting goals, and linking rewards to performance metrics. Setting target isn't enough to change an employee attitude. One approach for ensuring the goal-related goals are met is to use balanced scorecard. It contains information about the company priorities, metrics, and goals. As a result, employees will be able to better translate these priorities into actionable activities. Aside from that, one of the four management process is business planning. Managers use business planning as the third step in the management process. The manager will refer for the balanced scorecard, and their company strategic planning and budgeting process will combine. Its aim is to ensure that the budget will help the manager strategies. The final step is this management process is feedback and learning. This final step allows the manager to keep track of the feedback and connect it to the plan. Manager must also ensure that the balanced scorecard is used before they can track any answer. The first three processes are critical, but they all need a consistent target. Three key elements for strategic planning have been identified by the balanced scorecard. The first and most important requirement is holistic vision. The holistic vision is communicated to the entire organization, and individual activities are related to business unit goal. The strategic feedback system is the second critical component. The system aim is to test, verify, and revise the hypothesis. Finally, the balanced scorecard will encourage strategy analysis by allowing the scorecard user to review the feedback in order to gain a better understanding of the strategy. That's all from me. So I pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera to Prof. Nur Ashikin and everyone. My name is Ainur Shazwani and my metric number is 259189. So I will proceed to explain on application of the balanced scorecard theory in current business environment. Firstly, on perception of balanced scorecard. A company will begin by organizing its strategic goals into key areas to build a balanced scorecard. The four key areas used by Kaplan and Norton are the internal operation perspective, the financial, learning and growth perspective, and the customer perspective. Firstly is the financial perspective. It includes an organization's financial goals and enable managers to monitor financial performance and shareholder value. Second, the internal process perspective. It contains internal organizational target and outlines the main processes required to meet customer goals. Then, the customer perspective. It includes the customer target such as customer satisfaction, market share target, as well as product and service features. Lastly, the learning and growth perspective. It includes knowledge, preparations, corporate culture, leaderships, processes, and database, as well as the intangible drivers of potential success such as intellectual capital, organizational capital, and information capital. Next, I will explain the example of company that applied balanced scorecard theory. First, it is a rock waters company. Rockwater is a global pioneer in underwater engineering and construction and is a wholly owned subsidiary of Brown and Root or Halliburton, a multinational engineering and construction company. Norman Chambers, who became CEO in late 1989, recognized that the global competition in the industry had shifted drastically. He also devised a plan for getting the vision into action. This company applied all the four prospectively into their company strategy. In financial measures perspective, for the financial context, three measures of shareholder concern were included. Short-term result priorities were expressed by return on capital employed and cash flow, while expected efficiency reflected the corporate parent's initiative to minimize historical uncertainty generated by accidental output differentiations. The financial metrics were counted by Rockwater's management. Project profitability helped to concentrate planning and monitoring as the basic unit on the project, and sales backlog supported to minimize performance uncertainty. Therefore, internal processes perspective, executive from Rockwater describe a project life cycle from start to finish to fulfillment to establish metrics of internal processes. Internal business metric revealed a significant change in the Rockwater stock. Security, according to Rockwater, was still a big competing factor. According to internal studies, the accident's indirect costs will range from 5 to 50 times to direct costs. The scorecard display an index of protection generated against a systematic safety evaluation method that could recognize and distinguish entire unwanted incident that could affect individual property or processes. The management team desire for a measure that would be easy to convey to entire employee the value of developing and maintaining customer relationships. For customer satisfaction perspective, Rockwater aims to distinguish between two categories of client. First tier, which were oil group looking for a strong added value partnership, and second tier, which were looking for a low-cost supplier. To ensure that Rockwater will maintain its second tier customers' business during intense competition demanded it. A price index was added which combined the high possible competitive intelligence on rivalry position. Thus, the company plans was to concentrate on a value-based approach to business. Customer view when comparing Rockwater's offering to those of its rival in an annual survey conducted by independent organization. Customers in first tier were also required to provide monthly satisfaction and performance reviews. The implement of these scores, according to Rockwater, executives provide them with a clear line of communication with their clients and a degree of market command unmatched in most businesses. Then, innovation and improvement or growth perspective. The aim of the innovation and learning goals is to enhance financial, consumer, and internal process efficiency. Service and product development, along with the continual progress of internal production process, will generate new sources of income and business growth, were the sources of such changes at Rockwater. The first goal was measured by a quality advancement of metric that reflected the amount of improvement of many main operating indicators such as safety and rework. The second goal was calculated as a percentage of new service sales. However, it was believed that a welcoming environment of empowered, motivated employees was required to encourage both service or product creativity as well as operational efficiency. Another company that applies balanced scorecard theory is Apple Computer. Apple Computer provides a balanced scorecard to help senior managers concentrate on an arrangement that went above gross margin, market share, and return on equity. A small drive committee, which was deeply closely associated with Apple upper management team, deliberations, critical thinking, agreed to emphasize on structures categories for every one of the four aspects and to select a few measures for some of the classification for the shareholder value that categorized under financial perspective. It is a product and not a revenue driver. It will still be accounted as an output metric. The metrics included are to address past focus on gross margin and revenue, which ignores the investment needed today to achieve future growth. The shareholder value index, on the other hand, calculates the effect of planned investment in the growth and development of new businesses. Since most Apple activities are structured on a functional framework such as distribution, operation, global manufacturing, and product design, shareholder value can be measured only because of the whole organization rather than individual divisions. Also, for the customer perspective, they also concerned to their market share. Senior management wanted to reach a crucial threshold of market share, not just for apparent revenue growth, as well as to draw and keep software developers to Apple framework. Other than that, customer satisfaction. Apple had previously been a product-driven and technology company that battled by creating advanced computers. Customer satisfaction measurements are just now being implemented to help workers understand how to work in a customer-driven environment. The customer survey firm J.D. Power and Associates now purchased for the computer industry. Nonetheless, Apple determined want to go above J.D. Power and Associates to establish its self-reliant inspection to monitor its main market segment all over the place because it knew that its client base was not alike. Next, the internal process perspective. Employee was expected to be strictly concentrate on a few core capabilities such as powerful software, architectures, user-friendly interface, and efficient delivery systems, according to company executive. Senior executive, on the other hand, acknowledged that assessing success in this capability dimension could be challenging. Consequently, the organization is actively trying new things, with quantifying this difficult to measure competencies. Lastly, the learning and growth perspective. Every 2 years, Apple will conduct a comprehensive employee engagement survey at each of its companies. A more persistent analysis of randomly chosen employee will be compiled. Employees understand of the company's planning as well as what they are supposed to produce results that fit the strategy is the crux of the analysis questions. Survey findings are presented responsibly on the amount of employee feedback as well as general response pattern. Furthermore, there are also contribution or benefit of balanced scorecard theory. Firstly, it can make better strategic planning. Balanced scorecard will give a structured approach to designing a strategy. So, when we look up at the four perspectives that I mentioned before, it will make sure to see the key aspect of business, and it will give a template for a strategy map to make you basically try to understand how to make money by delivering something to customer, how to guide to do right thing internally. Secondly, it helps to improve strategy, communication, and execution. You will have a product that usually is a strategy map that produces a one-pages outline and make it really communicate the strategy both externally and internally. So, to have a one-page document that exactly need what to do in business and how various parts of the business all interlink and support each other is really powerful. Also, to have this one-page communication to enables business to really easy explain both to all employee as well external stakeholders about what the goals of business are. In addition, another benefit is better alignment of project and initiative. When everyone in the organization understand how they are contributing to the same organization's goal. So, you will look at marketing, finance, operation, human resource, and they will have a different goal, and what the balanced scorecard tends to do, it will bring it all together so everyone in the organizations and department understand their roles in the delivery of the strategy. Next, make better management information. As part of balanced scorecard template, you will design the KPI or key performance indicator of metrics that helps you to monitor how well you are delivering your strategy. This indicates that companies are analyzing the right things. According to studies, companies that use a BSC approach record greater quality management data and make good choice. Finally, balanced scorecard theory help to improve performance reporting. Dashboard and reports on performance could be built applying the balanced scorecard as a reference. So, you then have a set of indicators and you translate it into meaningful report that can look the key goals of your business, and ideal work will start with something like your strategy maps and can even color code the strategy maps and how well they are doing and score our goals. You also can have sub-dashboards or sub-part of your performance report that drill down into KPI around customers, finance, operation, and so on. So, usually the management reporting become much better, which mean you can monitor the execution of your strategy in much more a better way.
Hi, my name is Shazwani Minti Masaat. My metric number is 265710. I will continue about the criticism of the theory. The balanced scorecard theory has been argued that it has problem with the covariation versus causality. The model created by the Kaplan is problematic, where the model has problem with the cause and effect relationship. As example, Kaplan and Norton said that the customer satisfaction and loyalty has the cause and effect relationship between them. On top of that, they also assume that there is a cause and effect relationship between the loyalty and the financial results. Yet, previous study has found that
the amount of covariation is caused by the factors, not the causality. To be exact, some of the pairs such as customer satisfaction and loyalty might tend to go together, but they cannot be said that they cause each other. To be more specific, many people would say that non-loyal customers are not giving much profit, but we cannot say that the loyal customers give the most profit to the company. Moreover, some companies that have good financial results may have high level of customer satisfaction, but the relationship is not caused by the causality. The relationship between customer satisfaction is caused by the relationship of one of the covariation. Hence, the company should be careful when doing operational conclusion regarding the relationship. However, the companies who have good financial results are highly depending to sell to customers, which the customer satisfaction generates profit to the company. For that reason, if there are companies which are successful, they have nothing but profitable customers who are satisfied. These companies only focus on selling to those customers that generates profit and ensure that they have good accounting system. The second criticism that the balanced scorecard has been argued is the problem of implementation. It said that the balanced scorecard theory has been ignoring any type of problem implementation. Implementation consideration is actually part of the model. However, they wrote in their theory about the winning support, how important the employee empowerment is, organizational learning, and also managerial ability to stimulate interaction. Those three processes above are seen smooth and does not cause any problem, but the evidence suggests otherwise. As example, the features of mechanical control by the balanced scorecard are strongly being criticized because they do not make enough linkage to employees' motivational value and knowledge that give effects in limiting the organization's ability to adapt with dynamic environment. The third one is Kaplan and Norton has been criticized for how the balanced scorecard develops and defines the performance measures. He said that the balanced scorecard does not define KPIs adequately, hence hamper identification. The key performance indicator KPI has been compared to winning KPI's methodology to find the faulty in approaching the balanced scorecard conceptualized performance measures. The winning KPIs indicate the primary roles in performance measure in order to assist manager for them to focus on the critical success factors, but the balanced scorecard come to realize that the main role of performance measures is to monitor and then evaluate the performance of strategies. The fourth criticism is that the balanced scorecard are not flexible enough to be applied in firms whose company have a very dynamic business environment. Kaplan and Norton argue that a balanced scorecard helps managers change a strategy. He says that managers should often change their strategy or try their best to change it when dealing with a company whose business environment is very dynamic. The results increase uncertainty about the usefulness of the key indicator determined. Therefore, for companies that have a very dynamic business environment, it requires frequent changes or modifications of strategy, as well as having to set appropriate performance measures. The modifications become difficult and challenging. In addition, the balanced scorecard risks the creation of a static organization. In practice, managers will transform strategies into tangible measures of performance and coordinate organizational activities towards the achievement of balanced scorecard's objective. As a conclusion, there have been a lot of companies who use the balanced scorecard in all industry sectors such as manufacturing, service industry, small business, and also large business. It helps the management of the company to track the performance of the business, and it can also used as a management strategy. As we all know, the company use the balanced scorecard in order to measure the performance of the company and also to manage the strategic and project plan of the organization. The balanced scorecard actually provide a lot of benefits, such as transforming strategy into tangible performance measure, and also provide a better insight of business operations and how to create values. Even though the balanced scorecard is well known because of the benefit, it also has limitations in concept and in practice. The company that implements the balanced scorecard is either fail to achieve their goals or they go through a huge problem during the implementation. This happens because the balanced scorecard has not defined a clear relationship with the performance of the organizations, the goals, and also how they actually measure the KPIs. Besides that, the balanced scorecard focus more on achieving their objective, which leads to underutilization of the organization's potential beyond the targets of the balanced scorecards. That's all from me. Thank you.